Welcome back to Cottage Chronicles. Today I'm going to show you a little bit of the inside of my home, and we're going to be doing a little bit of painting, redecorating. If you have not already, please subscribe to my channel. There's lots of cottage decor, cooking, whole foods, gardening, kids, homesteading. We got a lot going on, and I'd love to have you following along. Okay, so this little room in my home does not have a name. It is, I believe it was the formal dining room for this home, but we use the kitchen to have an eat-in kitchen. So this room has become my office and a place for some storage and some books, and it's kind of just a pass-through room because it's between the parlor and the kitchen. So it has these cute little pockets of charm that I've created, but I know I can do better. So today was a cold and rainy day in this beautiful month of May, so I thought if there's ever going to be a chance for me to get this done before things get too wild, it's got to be today. I have had this paint color for, let's see, probably about 5 months, and I matched it to my vintage rug that I've had for about 5 years, and I love this color, and I haven't quite ever got around to using it on anything. Right on about January, I pulled a bunch of the paint samples from the hardware store that I thought were going to be close, brought them in, tacked them up on the wall, and they have been sitting there for several months. And then I chose one, bought the paint, and it had been sitting in my laundry room for several months, and now finally I'm getting around to making this happen. So this is a beautiful hunter green, and I love it. I love it. It's super dark and rich, and you know, it's perfect for this room because this room is not it's not a room that needs a lot of brightness or sunshininess. My office is in here, so my desk is here, and I do a lot of computer work in this room. But our parlor is going to be lighter colored, and our kitchen is lighter colored, so this room can handle quite a lot of saturation, and I love it so much. It's super... I know that a dark room may seem like it's going to be like depressing, I don't know, for the month of May, like too much. Or maybe a dark room just seems like it should be for winter when you want to feel cozied up. But to me, this particular color feels very cooling. After working in the hot garden, it would be wonderful to come and rest in this cool room and just kind of recuperate from being blasted on by the sun, which is what happens to me in the summer. So this room is going to be kind of a contrast for that, where I can sit and work at my desk and still kind of see everything that's going on in the house, but be able to relax. Tons of books, and I'm somewhat of a minimalist when it comes to just having stuff and clutter around my house, but then there's books, and I don't feel like getting rid of any of them because I love them. I do edit my collection of things I know I'm not going to read, but I have a lot of books that I have read and I may not read again for years, but I just love the feeling of having them around. So we have a lot of books, and we don't even have enough shelves for all our books, so I'm kind of always on the hunt for the perfect shelf, but the cottage is small, So it's worth waiting for the right one. And right now the rest of our books are down in Ray's office. And upstairs I just keep a lot of my gardening books that I'm currently going through, and then some of the classics that I like to grab, different poetry books or novels that I know I'm just going to want to read a few chapters of just for comfort. Every now and then I keep those on hand right next to my chair. My collections of art are something that I take great joy in. They're almost all vintage. They are all thrifted, or at least the frames are thrifted, and then sometimes I put different prints in them. I have pages from children's books that I have ripped out. I order paperback copies on eBay, and I take out the pages and frame them. I don't take out the pages of my best hardback copies, but these ones from paperbacks go into beautiful vintage frames, and I just love looking at them all the time. There was a break in the rain, so I went out to just get a few apple blossoms to liven this room up, and they are incredibly fragrant. These enormous old apple trees on our property are completely loaded with blossoms in some places, and then half the trees are not blooming in some places. So I do not really know what's going on there. The trees were humming with bees. Even though it was a blustery day, there was a few hours of break in the wind, and they just came out to do their work while they could. These blossoms are going to be the perfect thing to bring some of the outdoors into my office. Arranging my desk and styling my furniture is something I could just do all day. I love just finding the perfect nook for something to go into and standing back and looking at it and just kind of looking at the whole composition and then tweaking things, moving them around and making them just right. It's such a pleasure for me. Has come together so beautifully, and it's a lot of the same pieces that I have always had in my house, but it just feels nice to move things around, freshen them up. The kids love it when I move things around because it just feels like a new, exciting space, even though it's the same things from probably like robbed from a different wall or whatever. I robbed this chair from my living room, so now there's a bald patch in the living room, which I'll fill with something else, but the feeling of freshness is just a lovely one to have, especially in this season when everything else feels so fresh. It's nice to come into the house and have it also feel fresh. think for a day's work, that is pretty good. Everything feels new. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I post a new video at least once a week, and I'll see you soon with more goings on at the cottage.